Alright, what is up, you guys? It is Samantha May here, your Cincy Star Director. So tonight we're going to talk about, in our team training, we're talking about new year, new you, new systems. Big emphasis, new systems. That is what is creating a better version of yourself and your business for 2021. So I'm going to go through my planner slash binder. It's not really a planner. I was always huge on paper planners, ditched that. I do a lot on my phone, and I'm just going to show you guys the rest of the systems that is similar and the things that I have combined from learning this past year and what we've got going on. All right, so the first part of it is typically I've had a happy planner. These are the happy planner rings, but this is the Staples ARC, A-R-C system. This chunk back here, don't get worried, that is just the paper that came in it. So I do change it out. I like the disc bound system because I can use my happy planner disc bound hole punch, and I can add pages in and out, and it's fully customizable. The reason why I went with this year is because it is a leather bound. It is something that is more durable and something that I can use for a while, for several years if I need to. So when you open it up, I did catch it on sale. It's like 10 bucks. I think even maybe 9. So it's got some pockets here, business card holders, things like that. Now I did add these handy dandy, and I'll show you. If you're not familiar with the disc bound, you just pull it right out. So these are, there's a Hobby Lobby receipt. I've got a couple of these. You can buy these. These are the staple ones as well. These double pocket dividers. And you easily just affix it in there. So that's a little bit about this binding system 101, right? All right, so when I open it up, I've got my systems that I have redone. I've tried to do all the things all the time, and I've had to figure out the last several months how to do it scaled down, more simple, and to do it well. So things that we're focusing on right now are your systems being intentional, focused, and efficient for weekly systems. There are some monthly checklist items, and everything's going to vary by your title, your rank, like how you're working your business and what you're wanting from it, like what your goals are, is how you work it. So your system is not going to be identical to mine, but it may inspire you to do something, and this is just what you work on. So a superstar director is not going to do the same things that I do. They're probably going to do a bit more or maybe a bit less on some things. It just depends. If you are a lead consultant, you're not going to do the same thing as a star director. If you are a star consultant, you're not going to do a superstar director does. And so at different levels, you do different things. So when you're first getting started and you're not sure if you're going to do this as a business or not, this may overwhelm you. But if you are speaking to, you want to grow your business, you want to go to the top, you want to really do something income-wise or really provide some growth, these are systems that are geared more towards that. And so you can scale it down to what you need it to for your business. So this training is about IFFY system. So intentional, focused, efficient. That's where the IFFY. I know IFFY, the word is not spelled I-F-E, but that is how I am thinking to remember, is it intentional? Am I focusing on the right things? And am I doing it efficiently? All right, so IFFY systems. All right, so let's dive in. So these trackers are what's like right up front. I've got them here on my whiteboard that I can see it, but I have them where I can, because I'm a pen and paper type girl. Like, I'm going to check it off. I'm going to fill in notes and whatnot each week, but I have them here to look at as a reminder. These are what I need to do. I like the whole analyzing, you're breaking it down. I like the breakdown method for sure. So the breakdown for intentional, real quick. Are you being intentional with your time, with your tasks? Are you, are you taking the time? Are you being intentional to have, even if it's your family time, if it's time with, even to walk your pets, to just intentional with time, that the whole purpose behind that intentionality is that we are not running ourselves down. We are not staying up till 3 a.m. I know people like to joke that I'm a night owl, and it is, but it's not the way to go. And I do it, so I put these systems in place so that I am intentional with my time. I do work another full-time job outside of this, but it is independent contracting, so there is flexibility in all areas, and I think that's important because you know, that is definitely a benefit from I'm not chained to a desk 9 to 5, but I'm intentional with that time and task so that I'm efficient in that job, but then I'm also efficient in my Cincy time, and then I'm intentional, focused on family time when that's happening. It's not, I've got to do this, I need to stay up and do that, I need to do this and that. So intentional on your time and task, intentional on what you're doing is what you need to be doing for your business, which goes into the focus part. That you're focused on income producing activities. You're not doing all the, I mean, there's busy work to do, but that's not what you're focused on. The things that are going to grow your business, what really matters, and what, like I said, what's going to grow your team, what's going to maintain your team, and what's going to expand your customers, your sales. How are you going to maintain that? Efficient. Are you efficient in your ways in your day? So are you all tying in? Are you doing the things you need to be doing? Or, you know, so that you're not treading on thin water, that you're thinning yourself out, that you get burnout. And burnout is real and it happens. And you just don't want to go down that path. So this whole system and kind of simplification of things is designed so that you're iffy. If you're intentional, focused, and efficient, right? All right, so we're planning time out. We're holding yourself accountable by sticking to your systems. You're building consistency within your business. You're learning growth and maintenance, and you're practicing that growth and maintenance by doing these things each week and each month. And what we're concentrating on is team connection, customer follow-up, got my notes over here, and building your business platforms and efficient within your business and like the admin task inside of it. This stuff that you're like, oh, I don't really like to do. It's not the fun part, but you have to do it, right? All right, so let's dive into it. So what I have for these systems, let's take this one right here. I've designed it out through a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and the Friday, because we're going to give ourselves the weekends off, right? Unless we have an event or whatnot. And just daily reminders. So the breakdown of it is your daily breakdowns, no matter what level you are, you can still plan out and be efficient and focused and intentional in those things. You just may not have the same actual task. So that is the only difference when saying like a SSD is not going to do the same thing as a lead is not. And but you're still, this plan is still the same, that you're being intentional and focused on what you're doing, because you're going to grow into that position and into that level. And when you are, you're going to be ready because you're doing intentional, focused, efficient ways and tasks already. All right, so with that, things that I work on team connection wise, I am following up with frontline team members. I'm doing team emails and team posts, and I'm setting aside time to schedule out my posts in VIP page and team pages, being very intentional on setting that time apart. And then I'm also breaking it up. Like I'm doing the first half of the week on one day and the second half on another day. I'm working on my customer newsletter for a couple of days, and making sure that I have it ready to go and schedule out the team emails and the customer emails as well. With customers, I'm working on samples so that I'm constantly stocked with samples. And throughout the week, I'm intentionally working on follow-ups. I do have it down on 3 specific days to set aside time to do that. But then if there's free time or I have extra time that I can be following up, it's not that I'm not going to do it on Monday because I may not have it scheduled on Monday. I'm just focused. And it's going to make me more efficient to do those things on Monday. But if I get done or I have extra time or find time that I can catch up on some things, I'm going to go ahead and follow up. Constantly following up, checking in on customers, because customer service is key, is that you are serving them. You are not selling to them. You are serving customers. So as we get into the customer things as well, I am working on, a customer video or a live that I'm going to be doing throughout the week. I'm going to be posting to Instagram, Facebook, stories, things like that. But just having intentionality behind showing customers products, show them how I use it in my home, because that's what it is. I'm just sharing what it is and the love for it, and then they buy it through that, right? So I'm intentional with that time. And then I do set aside time on a day to do an office catch up. So that means I'm recording receipts, taxes, mileage, things like that. It is going to make you more efficient in your business if you are squared away and have systems in place for that. Whether it's accordion type file to file away, whether you put it in, scan it in with the QuickBooks app, or if you're inputting it into your spreadsheet, however you do it, you're just setting aside time to do that and be intentional with it. I'm checking on orders and supplies and printing off materials that I'm going to need for the next week, meaning if I have the discounted product list that I'm putting in orders or mailing out, that I'm printing it and not waiting until orders get in and go, man, I don't have that, or I don't have any samples made. Well, that puts you further behind. Or, man, I've ran out of bags. I have to order bags, so I can't sort this order because I don't have samples and I really want to give them samples and I don't have enough bags. That's not efficient. That's not productive. That's not helping your business at all. That is a scattered way of life. And so this is when you are setting aside that time to say, I've got all the product I need. I've got all of the bagging materials I need. I've got everything. So when this order comes, I'm ready to go. I can get it out as time efficient for my customers, right? So it is blocking off times each day for those tasks, right? So, and daily I'm checking Google Forms that I have set in place, posting to the social media, and I'm following up with hosts. And then as I get new frontline, that is something that always want to have right in front, that, hey, you've got new people, you've got new team members that you are trying to help grow their business. And so we are trying to put that at the forefront of, hey, I need to make sure I'm reaching out to them. All right, so that is a huge simplified way. Basically, it's a fancy to-do list that is broken down, but you really, when you're deciding your tasks, think about how you need to grow your business, what you need to focus on, when you need to do it, how much time you have. I don't load up on my Thursdays because we have team meeting days, and as I take on other clients in my other job, things adjust. But the great thing about this business is it's flexible. If I'm on the road for doing some work, I can take this with me and I can work on the things I need to work on. I may have to swap days I do samples, or I may have to, but that is the thing, is that you are being very focused in on your time and what you've got, because you're going to be pre-planning. You're going to be aware of what's going on, and then that way you can plan for it. Pre-planning is huge in this. And so you never want to be completely scattered. It's not fun. All right, so these, I'm going to show you guys. These dividers also came from Staples. They're the Martha Stewart kind. I like to divide out and be able to sort out everything within the planner. Or I keep calling it planner even though there's not planning pages. All right, so the next things you need to be doing is having a goal tracker. You can print it off the workstation. I do not want to show names, but it is the tracker for the annual sales and annual mentor. And it looks, I'm trying not to show it, but it is similar to this. I don't want to show anybody's names just for privacy, but tracking the PRV. So you are tracking for your annual sales, you're tracking the folks that you are sponsoring personally, enrolling and following up with them, that you are trying to get them to certified. Yes, you are an annual mentor, but it is a huge deal to have your frontline members and your team members certified, because they are paid at 25% versus 20%. So that is huge. And then once again, you're tracking your numbers for that annual sales award. And if you're not going after those, you're really missing out, since he does pay out cash bonuses. And those are available to earn for all consultants. It doesn't matter your level. So those are things I track. I do have blank ones of these. The daily tracking log that Cincy provides. This is to track your numbers. You can track each month, you track it daily, and you really learn to see and grow and know where you're at. You see where your team's going up in volume, you see where your sales are going up, you see, hey, my team is growing. Or if you're a director and above, that you see that you have, then it's group and team. And so you see your active frontline, you're noticing that people are getting active. I mean, I do log into the workstation multiple times a day, but then this way it's just a good habit to track your numbers. For a while, I didn't do it because I was like, I don't understand it. Like, I check it every day, but it is a great visual to say, okay, wow, we jumped up 2 group members today. Okay, you can see who's sponsoring, who's doing, you know, you can dive into the workstation to see who's doing what, but it's a great habit to track, and then you can see the previous month and it's right there in front of you. So that's nice to have. All right, the next section is where I just keep up with my Cinnamon Mom subscription boxes, which are my personalized whiff boxes. This form, I just designed it so it's designed to what I need. You can design something similar, but I just number them out to 30, whether I need 1 or 2 pages each month. But you write down your customer name. I offer a $20 and $30 box so I can mark it. When they've paid, I mark it off. I keep up with their payment type, so if they pay me Facebook, Venmo, if they've paid cash or a check, or if I have a card on file that I run, if it's direct shipped, and I mark it when it's delivered. And then I also have the section below for notes so that I can, you know, as I write themes or ideas or maybe a little goodie that I found that I'm going to put in there, I just keep all those. So behind this section, I go ahead and I print out all 12. So I do 1 each month. And then I keep behind here, these, as you see, these are last year's. So January through December 2020. These are everybody who ordered the box, that information. And I can, because I've got, you know, down below, I've got the notes of it. So I say, okay, I know what I did. I can look on my little workstation, but as I'm writing it and I'm thinking of ideas, I can go, okay, I did that. Oh, I did put that product in. So you're not duplicating a lot, but this is the best way for me personally to track. So I write it down, and if I don't have this book beside me, I can make a note in my phone and then add them to this list. For sure. So that's a great way, is to keep up with my personal boxes. If you don't do personal boxes, you don't have to worry about tracking those kind of things. But if you do, just make sure you have a system in place to track them. All right, next section, I keep up with, it is a follow-up kind of type section. I have a Scentsy Club Happy Meal tracker, and this is for my Scentsy Club. I left them blank so I could show you guys. I developed this just to fill in the customer name, if their subscription runs monthly, bi-monthly, or if it's a quarterly subscription. So I will just check which one their subscription is. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mark each month. I have all the months out here, and I'm gonna mark each month that I send them Happy Meal. So I make sure that I am serving them well. I do stuff for my customers who are subscribed. So this is a way just to check and make sure, as I get a new subscriber, I'm gonna, you know, I write their name down, I mark which, you know, what their subscription is, but then I'm gonna make sure that I'm taking care of them and making contact with them each month. And behind that, I do PWS follow-up. This is something else that I created just to make sure as I get a PWS order, I write down their name, the day that they ordered, their order amount. As soon I either text or email them a thank you, I make a contact with them and I mark it. And then when I mail their Happy Mail, I send them stuff as they purchase, I send that to them, and then I make a note of what products and samples I sent, so that then when I follow up with them, I can make reference to it. Because if you are sending, and especially if you are mailing out samples, there's a cost associated with that. And there's a cost in samples anyways. I mean, because even if you get your free product, you've got bags, labels, whatever else in it. So if you're gonna put the money into it, you need to make sure you're getting the best return on your investment, and that you are following up with the things that you sent. So that is the next section, is about just PWS follow-up. And so I can go through follow-up in that section, follow up with club members, especially if I'm saying, hey, did you like that scent? You know, or if you're just mailing something fun, be like, hey, you know, your subscription's coming up. Just wanted to make sure, you know, remind you can make any changes if needed. Scentsy sends them an email, but it's never, like it says, you know, go the extra mile, because it's never crowded there. So you're never not gonna take too good care of your customers, right? All right, so next up I have a Frontline Happy Mail tracker. And so this is printed out, and it has got all of my front lines. I've got these pages here, and it's got all of their names on it. So I'm just gonna protect it for privacy as well. And it's got all the months. And so what I'm doing is I'm making sure that I am being intentional and focusing on my front line, that each month I'm making contact with them. I'm sending them something, whether it is for just a, hey, how you're doing? Hey, I'm praying for you. Hey, guess what? Remember, your star director loves you. Or, oh my gosh, you have been active every month this year. That's amazing. Or, oh my gosh, you had 3,000 PRV. Or, hey, you just signed up 5 people that you've added to your team. Oh my goodness. There's always something to celebrate. We learned that in Anna Hughes' Frontline Focus System. And so really kind of conveying this into having my front line, and I can write in as a team underneath me grows, I can write in those names. But I am being very intentional to focus on my front line this year, even more so, and just making sure I'm reaching out, contacting them, seeing what questions that you need help with and whatnot, and just making sure that I am sending them something. And so this is just to keep me accountable, to make sure that I don't miss anybody, and make sure that I'm being real intentional on the relationship with my front line, because that's important. And behind that, I just have, we've talked about this before. This is a potential team member sheet that I did, and it's just to put their name when we talked, and then I mark when I followed up, and just put why they be a consultant, whether it's somebody I just met and we exchanged numbers or contact info, added on Facebook, or if it is somebody that has mentioned to me, hey, you know what, I might be interested in Cincy, but it wasn't the time for them to join. And especially as you're offering host kits, because you do the earn a kit, and if you're not doing the earn a kit option, is so important that you do that, or offer that to people, because somebody, it may be what they need, but they can't afford it at the time. So if you can bless somebody with the host kit, I cannot say it enough, you guys need to be offering the host kits. So if I have a host kit, and I hate for those things to go to waste, I do not like it, so I can look back and go, you know what, I've got this kit for X amount of dollars. I think you'd be great at it. Are you ready to give it a go? So just to look back, and as people talk, you keep up with those conversations. And then that's it in it. It's very scaled back. I know before systems, they can always be super overwhelming, but we are focusing on our team, on our front line, on the tasks that we're doing, and that we are being efficient with it. Now, what about regular orders, right? So the second part to this is where some may go, oh my goodness, it's too much, but it's not, because I've tried, I feel like, 1,000 different ways on how to keep up with orders. I've tried fully electronic, I've tried pen, paper, everything, every which way to keep up with it, and nothing has seemed to flow right. So this is the latest way of really trying to keep it to flow right. So I want to show you guys. I took the Cincy form, so it is in its own order notebook. So yes, there are 2 things. I do work from home, and so I don't usually have to log this around or lug it around really. But when I travel, I'm going to take it with me, and it's not a big deal to throw it in my backpack, right? So I did put the expander rings. This is a Happy Planner Classic Notes. I did put expander rings because I'm planning on putting all my order forms in here, if it can hold all of them for the year. All right, so I have tab dividers for months, and then this was from a different system, so it's 1 disc short, and so I just grouped the 3 months for each quarter and then spaced it, because I work with a lot of quarterly stuff for my consulting. So this is, my mind automatically thinks about breaking it down to quarters. You can do it however. But it's honestly not that important. That it's just got the month tabs so that I can put, and I didn't load all of them in here yet just to show you guys, but I load the order forms, and I have, like I said, the Happy Planner, disc bound, hole punches. But what I did is I modified the Cincy order form to fit the needs that I had. And that was to it's got information. I did adjust this on PicMonkey, and just where it says order form, it's got their contact, WS order name, which is for workstation order name, so I know what party name or ID it's under. I can fill out the order form as I need, and then I've got over here, I've created this box that marks if it's been paid, yes or no, if you've asked them to join, or if you've offered like a host kit opportunity, and then when you followed up, and then added a note section box, so I can put down their card information still, or I can just mark if it was cash or check, or if it was Facebook or Venmo or whatnot, I can mark, or PayPal, I can put that on there. Any note section I've got, and then this big old box was huge for me. It says sample / products given. So when I fill out Susie's form, and she wants 6-pack of bars, but one of the bars she wants is sold out, but I have it in my personal stash, I can make the note still that it's in, you know, from my stock, and whatever I ordered, I can make the note that I ordered XYZ instead, and so that I know that when it comes in and I'm bagging her order, you know, I've got it listed on the form, and not, you know, or in the notes, but usually I just write it on the form here, very detailed, because this is for me, and I can make a copy for a customer, and you could use, I mean, you could just punch the Scentsy order forms in here to do the plies, but I do this because this is like my version for like all of my notes, or I could write them out another 3-ply, you know, receipt, or another order form copy without notes. But anywho, that I have the notes so that when the order comes in and I'm bagging it and I'm looking back, I say, okay, which I'm gonna already have this pulled out with her name on it on my to-go shelf, or my, you know, ready order shelf, and then I'm gonna have the notes that, okay, then that bar now comes into my stock. So it is just a way, pen, paper, and if I didn't have this in front of me and somebody says, oh, hey, order me a 6-pack of bars, I need this, this, and this, or order me some washer whiffs, I have a certain place in my phone that I put that, and then I will transfer it here if I did not have this with me. If it's somewhere that they've caught me out where, you know, even if I'm out of town, I have this stuff with me typically in my backpack. But that you have that information, and so you have to work your system what's best for you. But this is just something I'm working with because I'm very pen and paper. I've tried to be tech in some ways, and calendar I fully went for on tech, but when it comes to this stuff, I just love pen and paper versus a full paperless system. I'm not to that point yet. I may be one day, but I'm just not there yet. So I've got their information, especially when I'm bagging, I've got the notes. I have that here. And then so for each month, you've got where you can put your order forms. Some people file them away, but then when it comes to follow-up, that I know there's a lot of different ways you can follow up, where it's the 2-2-2, 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months. If you do a every month type method, once I've bagged it, and typically I have just been like either highlighting the line or something once it's filled, you figure out what is best for you. There's no certain way to say you need to fill it out like this and you need to do this. Don't hear me say that. You do you, what works for you. And so what I just kind of check mark when I enter it, and then I've just kind of marked it when I filled it, and then that way I can go back and ask these questions and follow up, and I write the samples that I've given them when I've bagged their order, or any freebies or anything like that I've put in there, or any extras, or you know, things like that. And then I have them here in that month, and I can follow up with them. And then if they reorder, I can pull, because it's a disc system, I can just pull their form out, and if they say in February, then they've ordered, and you know, I can put it with that person. And you can clip these by your customer. You can and that way you can kind of really see what they order. Of course, you pull that on your workstation, but I can fill these out and I can clip them together. And so then I start seeing, okay, well, they're ordering every month. Are you sure you don't want to be a consultant? Because you would be amazing at it, or you would really benefit type deal. You start recognizing those patterns. So this is just how I'm doing it right now. I'll update you guys, but it is nice just to have, and like I said, I intentionally have not put stuff in here just for blank showing for training purposes. So you can put it in here, then you can follow up through the month. You can put them then by customer. This, you know, it had note paper that came with it. I've left that in the binder for now, but it could always take it out. But, you know, you can also back here, I mean, you could track VIP customers. I've got a list of my top spenders, and those people that are true VIPs. And so you can even create their own tabs and profiles, and things like that. So this is just kind of an idea, a start way. And then as you follow up, you've got that area to market. So it's all in one place. And then you can file accordingly. I'm not going to say which, like I said, no certain way is right or wrong. You have the option of what to do, and you can play around with what works best for you. These are from Erin Condren, but I'm sure you could find them. I just had these from, I used to be a huge Erin Condren planner until I discovered Discbound Systems. So this just holds it together. So these I print 2 to a page, and one is flipped and opposite, because when you trim it, the way that it trims down with your Discbound system, so it doesn't cut into your actual wording and stuff. So I print these 2 to a page. I do print through HP Instant Ink with my printer, so I'm not paying a ton of money for ink. And if you don't know about HP Instant Ink, just message me and I can send you a referral link so that you can get a free month or so and try it out if you have an HP eligible printer. But this is a way that I'm not spending a ton of money on it, but I'm getting the information that I need. It's fully customizable. And then there are also, for the big planner, there are monthly tasks that I have in here, and it is things just like overall within your business that you are looking at for, you know, making sure monthly that, you know, certain supplies, which you're checking it off each week, but certain things each month that you are looking at, and make sure that you're mindful of, you know, certain maybe team check-in levels or certain frontline levels and certain training levels, things like that. So pick what works for you. If you have any questions, of course, feel free to reach out and we will talk about it, but just really think about IFE. Are you intentional, focused, and efficient? Because that's what we're concentrating on, because we want it to be simple. We want it to be fruitful by all means, that we want to grow our business. We want to have more times with our families. We want to respect that time. And you don't want to be constant work. I know sometimes it comes across like that, but you don't want to do that by any means. So be intentional with your time and don't waste time on a lot of the fluff and fruit of it all. Like, you really just want to focus on the things and hone in on what's going to grow your business, what's going to take you to that next level, and then how are you going to take everybody else up with you. So new systems for the new year: simplify, and just really make it efficient so that you can grow in your business. And if you have any questions in regards to these, like I said, reach out, and we'll be talking soon and update you guys on how it's going within those systems. But just wanted to share and make sure that you're being iffy in your business.